Hey, welcome back, everybody. Today is May 29th. I've decided to change my introduction. Um, Actually, my children asked me to change it. They said they think that people are getting bored out of because nobody's watching the videos. They saying that it's probably because of the introduction. So I won't be saying the name of the channel anymore when I start the videos. And those are my bosses, so whatever they say, I do. I want to talk about the rigged Game 7 today in hockey. The Vegas Golden Knights defeated the Minnesota Wild. I mean, so many people watch these games. I mean, I started watching the game towards the end just to see if I noticed any rituals. So I turned the game on in the middle of the third period, and I wasn't wrong. I knew I was going to see something that stands out. So this person here, Matthias Handmark, supposedly he had a hat trick during the game, which means if you score 3 goals in hockey, that's called a hat trick. And he scored 3 goals. And his last goal, he made the game 2-6. And notice what number he wears, number 26. And I looked up his name in Gematria. His name sums to 101 to 26 prime. Just crazy. And, they do this a lot. If you ever pay attention to the person's, the player's jersey number, a lot of times they like to do it a lot in baseball. Sometimes they do it I haven't seen it much in basketball, but they do it a lot in hockey, baseball, and they do it a lot in football. If you pay attention to the player's jersey number, sometimes you'll see number 7 score the 7th point of the game. In this case, number 26 made the game 2-6. Or, you'll see number 1 hit the first home run or score the first run of the game. If you pay attention to the jersey number, those numbers always come up and show up in the scoreboard. And, the reason that's important is because sometimes, like in baseball, you'll see like the game will be 3-3. And then you'll see number 43 is batting up. And then next thing you know, that person hits a home run and makes the game 4-3. So, if you pay attention to the jersey number, that might, in case you guys are doing a live bet or something, that's probably a good time to just, put some money down on the team that's batting up, because it's a high possibility that the game might be 4-3 and number 43 is batting. Something that I've been noticing in the past year. They love to do that. And look, they did it today again. Number 26 makes the game 2-6. So just checking on the chat. Make sure you guys are listening to me. I think so. Hopefully you guys are. So, like I said, the Minnesota Wild, they got eliminated today. And they finished their season with 38 wins. And that is a huge number with Minnesota, period. One of the reasons George Floyd, who was killed in Minnesota, one of the reasons his whole ritual happened on 38th Street is because in Gematria, Minnesota equals 38. And that's also, a number associated with death and homicide and killing. But on Patreon, I just knew it. I said, look at this. Look at this. Minnesota is 38-19 for the season. And, 38 is the Minnesota number. If they lose, they become 38-20. And then I looked at the date numerology for today's game. Notice. This game, actually this was played yesterday. This game was played on a day with 38-20 numerology. And the Minnesota Wild fall to 38-20 for the season. So on a day with 38 numerology, they stay on 38 wins. And Minnesota's 38. And, of course, the goalie that they had playing was a guy named Cam Talbot. He was born July 5th, 1987. Notice he was 30. They had. This is another thing that they like to do. And they do this in hockey a lot. Today was Game 7, so obviously the series was tied 3-3. So what the Minnesota did was they had the 33-year-old Cam Talbot, who wears the number 33 as the goalie. And from the game to his upcoming birthday was 38 days. Why? Because he was gonna keep his team on 38 wins for the season. So that's why they had this goalie, whose birthday is in 38 days from now, and wears the number 33 and is 33 years old, play for Minnesota. So all these things are indicators. If you pay attention to the goalies, to the head coaches, a lot of times are also indicators of who's going to win the game. This stuff is so repetitive. 38 days before his birthday, and then notice his surname, Tolbert, equals 38. 38 days before his birthday, his team stays on 38 wins, the Minnesota number. And then if you notice up here, the Vegas Golden Knights, they picked up their 44th win of the season. And Minnesota Wild equals 193 to 44th prime. So this was money in the bank, this game here. Dates on, today I was expecting some rappers to be dead, because 74 and 38, that smells like a rapper death. Notice in Gematria, a rapper is 74 and 38. So many rappers die on dates like this, on dates with 74 and 38 numerology. So, probably tomorrow, the day after, you'll get the news that so-and-so was shot leaving a nightclub. It's always the same thing. But so back to hockey. This was easy money. Even though the Vegas Golden Knights were the favorite, the line dropped to a negative 170 at one point. So, if you was to bet $170 on the Vegas Golden Knights to win, you win $170, which is not bad. I mean, you're making $170 in a day, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to work for it. All you have to do is sit in front of your TV, or you don't even have to watch the game. You could just wait till 12 o'clock a.m. on Saturday, and then notice the box score, and then notice that you won $170 by just noticing the patterns, these repetitive patterns. Minnesota in 38, it never fails. Think about George Floyd. But yeah, Mr. Matthias Handmark, what a fraud. What a fraud this guy is. These people who participate in rigged sports, these people, they put on these masks. Oh my gosh. In the last 5 days, I think we're 7-1. We are 7-1 on Patreon. 7-1. I think the only game we got wrong was yesterday. We went with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers messed us up yesterday. But before that, 7-1. I want to talk a little bit about basketball. People keep asking me if I still like Brooklyn or if I like the Lakers. I think I made this very clear to everybody that I'm not picking who's going to win the championship, because there's a narrative for both sides. So you guys asking me who's going to win the championship, I already told you that I don't care who wins the championship. There's a narrative for both teams, and that's why I'm not picking. There's a narrative for both teams. We spoke about the number 64 with the Brooklyn Nets, and we also spoke about 56 and LeBron, and also 58, because the Lakers could win 58 games this season. Los Angeles Lakers is 58. Nets is 58, because that's the number associated with Freemasonry. Even Kobe Bryant sums to 58. So I'm not going to bother picking who's going to win the championship. I could care less. I already told you guys. It's a little bit late to now because the odds went down. But if you did it when I put out the videos, then you should be making 5 times your money. Nets to win the Eastern Conference, Lakers to win the Western Conference. You put that in a parlay, and you should have 5 times your money, because the odds was plus 500. If you didn't do that, don't ask me who's going to win the championship, because I told you I don't care. I do not care. This is about making money and finding the best odds. That's the best option that I could give you guys. I'm not going to tell you that the Lakers are going to win the championship when I'm noticing all the 64s with the Brooklyn Nets. No, that's the wrong thing to do. And I'm not gonna tell you to pick the Nets when I'm also looking at all the 56ers with LeBron and the Lakers. I'm not gonna do that. I'm staying away from the double coated games. Yeah, the day like yesterday, the Lakers became 2-1. This was an easy game here. Notice they went with 109 points. Los Angeles equals 109. Los Angeles Lakers equals 95. But they became 2-1. Right, Lakers is 21. Suns is 73. The 21st prime. And yesterday was the day with 73 numerology. Actually, the day before yesterday, when the day that this game was played. Right, because yet the hockey game was played on a 74-day numerology. The Lakers game was played on a 73-day numerology. The 21st prime. So Lakers become 2-1. And another reason I'm not picking Lakers or Nets is because, yesterday there was a number of the beast ritual with the Lakers game. And if you notice in gematria, a beast, and they always do number of the beast rituals with LeBron. Notice how beast is 47 and it's also 11, right? LeBron can become 4-7 in his 11th NBA Finals. Because, yesterday I saw Mr. Hubbard put out a video on the number of the beast ritual that they did with LeBron. How the Lakers became 25-8 in the playoffs at home versus the Suns. And it was LeBron's 174th playoff victory. And then LeBron James 66. And then he scored a 47-point in the game. It was 87 combined points in the game. So they do a lot of these number of the beast rituals with LeBron James. Because number of the beast is 66. Like LeBron James, like Lakers. And, that's another reason why I'm not picking the Nets or the Lakers. Because, there is a possibility that LeBron finishes his career 6-6. But there's also a possibility that he falls to 4-7. Because Beast is also 47. So this finals is too tricky for me, man. I'm not doing it. If it was riddles like this, like there was nothing for the Minnesota Wild. This is the type of games I like to attack because to me it's about making money. These type of games you're gonna make money. You're not gonna make money if a game is like if it's too double coded. Like, oh look, Minnesota could win. But then Vegas could also win. Who should I pick? No, I'm not doing that. So, you guys want to kill yourself over who wins the NBA Finals? Go right ahead. I'm not doing that. Because I don't want nobody being disappointed at the end of the year when their team loses. My Patreons, before the finals even start, they're going to be cashing out. Because I told everybody, listen, just pick them to win their conferences. And those games should be done by the start of July. So in a month from now, you guys should be cashing out. You don't even have to watch the finals. And then if you want, we'll go game by game during the NBA Finals. We'll decode game by game. But Another thing that worries me a little bit, I'm not going to act like it doesn't, Bucks. The Bucks, they've been playing good basketball, and does equal 56. The finals does start on the day with 56 numerology. LeBron could become 5-6 versus the Bucks. That's also a possibility, but I don't think the Bucks have, just because a lot of you say, you guys are too stuck in the fact that it's rigged. We understand that it's rigged, it's scripted, blah blah blah. We know that. I know that. You're not telling me that. But you guys also have to understand that they do promote these games as being real. So you have to also look at it from a basketball standpoint, even though the games are rigged. Right? For example, just because the games are rigged, does it look realistic if the Charlotte Hornets wins the championship? Let's say the Charlotte Hornets, they defeat the Lakers and the Knicks and then the Brooklyn Nets and they sweep every team. Does that look realistic? See, the NBA will never do that. The NBA still has to make. That's why they have these super teams, because they have to make it look realistic. Because if the NBA wanted, they don't have to build super teams. The reason they build super teams is to make it look like the reason that these teams are winning is because all these players are playing together. So, you also have to look at it from a standpoint of a sheep, kind of, right? You also gotta look at it like, okay, these games are not rigged. You gotta look at it like that, even though we all know they are rigged. We all know it's rigged. So from a non a woke person's perspective, we have to look at it from, okay, are the Brooklyn Nets, how does those two teams match up, the Brooklyn Nets and the Milwaukee Bucks? Are the Milwaukee Bucks capable of beating a Brooklyn Nets team from a basketball standpoint? I don't think so. Now, in order for it to happen, we have to see a lot of injuries and a lot of suspensions. I think that's the only way it can happen. Also, in the NBA Finals, from a basketball standpoint, do you think that the Brooklyn Nets can lose to a Lakers team? You also got to and also this, right? Look at the games that the Lakers have played, right? They're barely beating these teams that they are beating. They had problems with the Golden State Warriors. They lost the first game to Phoenix, and then they lost 2 games in a row, right? I mean, they won 2 games in a row. But those games that they've won, they barely got to 100 points. So they don't have a lot of offense. But then you look at the Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets are scoring 130 points, 120 points. That's a lot. They have a lot of offense. So are the Lakers going to be able to keep up with a team like that? Even though the Brooklyn Nets lost today, they still put up 119 points. And we all know that it's rigged, it's scripted. There's a reason that 119 is up there, is because of the symbology of the number. We know that. We know why the Lakers lost with one yesterday with 109 points, because Los Angeles is 109. But you also have to understand that they're not promoting it like this in numerology sense. They're promoting it from a basketball standpoint. So from a basketball standpoint, the Brooklyn Nets have way more offense than the Lakers do. This team, even when they lose, they still put up 119 points. Yesterday, the day before yesterday, the Lakers won. Look at all the Lakers scores. They are barely getting to 100 points. The Lakers are. Look at that, 109. This is a championship team? I don't think so. This is not a championship team to me. Now, look at the Bucks, for example. The Bucks are winning. The Bucks are winning games with 130, 140 points. They won by 34 points. I mean, that's how championship teams normally look. Why is this not coming up? Look at this game. They oh my God. They won by, what was that, 29 points? 113 points. Yeah, we know what 113 signifies, but that without that, just put all the numerology and all the gematria stuff aside. Just looking at it from a basketball standpoint, this team looks like it's just lopsided. They look like they're just way more dominant. And all the games against the Heat, they've been killing them. They've been killing them almost every game. Let me see if I could look this up. I don't know why this stuff is not. It's not pulling up. Look, they scored 144 points on December 29th. I mean, yeah, that was a long time ago, but that's a lot of offense, I don't think the Lakers have ever scored 140 points this season. Yeah, this team is just they dominate. And, I don't expect them to, go past the Eastern Conference, but I don't think they'll go. I don't think they'll beat the Nets, but just notice, right? On May 24th, they won with 132 points. These are a lot of points compared to what the Lakers are doing. On May 13th, they scored 142 points. 140. What the hell? These numbers are just crazy. So, that's what I'm saying. I'm not picking who's going to win the championship at all. I could care less. I think the best option is to pick the winners of their conferences, and I think it's going to be the Nets and the Lakers. And I'm still riding the 64 with the Nets, because I think that is a big number with Jackie Robinson. But LeBron could also become 5-6, like the 56 NBA season. So it's whatever. Who cares? Actually, I'll open up the phone lines in case you guys want to call up, and then and if you guys want to share anything, just take my phone off of sleep mode. Okay, so 646. Yeah, you guys can't say that he have no offense when they went to the finals last year with the same team. So let's see. Okay, so the number's on the screen. The number is 646-986-0958. So Dwayne Harris says that 40% of the bet money is on the Nets to win the finals. Somebody says, "Do you think the NBA gonna let 3 of the greatest scorers lose in the weak Eastern Conference and mess up their legacies?" Yeah, that's another reason. That's another reason I don't. But the thing is, that doesn't really matter because think about the Celtics. The Celtics lost, and they had the biggest players in the Eastern Conference. I'm talking about the Celtics where Paul Pierce was there and Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo. So we have seen stuff like that. LeBron hasn't gone to the NBA Finals every year, so that's not really a good reason to say the Lakers are going to go because he has missed the finals before. I don't think he'll miss it this year, though. I don't think so. So if you guys want to call up and then speak your mind. Actually, I was going to share this on Patreon. That's what I forgot to do. Because I know a lot of people don't get notifications, so hopefully they get it. If anybody has something to say, you could call up. I'm not going to. Somebody says, is this the 56th NBA season? No, this is the 75th NBA season. In the 56th NBA season, the New Jersey Nets, played against Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. And this year, there's a possibility that that happens again. Because LeBron could become 5-6. And then the finals is starting on the day with 56 numerology. And Barclays Center equals 56. And he could become 5-6. And you know what else about LeBron? When the final starts, that will be his 56 finals appearance of his career. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of 56s in favor of LeBron. There's a lot of 64s in favor of Kevin Durant and the Nets. Somebody says the Clippers are going to beat the Lakers. All right, good luck, bro. Somebody says what does Clippers equal 64 have to do with anything? And where does Clippers equal 64? What are these people talking about? Just trolling. I don't understand. You guys like to type in the chat, but you guys don't want to call in. That's why I always end the live stream early. Yeah, I'm gonna end the live stream, but just before I end it, I'm gonna look at tomorrow's games before we start. Looks like the Clippers came back. Kawhi scores 36 points. That's probably a 666 ritual right there. So the Bucks gonna eliminate the Heat tomorrow. Possible. Tomorrow is there hockey games? A lot of people like the Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs to win the Stanley Cup this year. But I think that's one of the biggest traps of all time. But yeah, I'll talk about hockey on Patreon. I'm not gonna do that on YouTube, man. Mr. Algorithm, would you like to call up and let us know why you like the Clippers? I mean, tell us why. Let the people know. It's possible you're right. I mean, but you're telling us the Clippers are gonna win because of Tom Brady. I don't understand what You're not being specific. I mean, what does the Clippers have to do with Tom Brady? Maybe if you call us up and let us know, but other than that, So let's see. This is the thing. I don't. I hate that these lines are so like the hockey, like the Maple Leafs are negative 190. Even if I take the Maple Leafs tomorrow, you're not gonna make any money on that. And I'm not the one that makes the lines, but I know a lot of you like these low lines and underdogs. But hey, it's not up to me. I don't make the lines. Are the Heat not gonna win one game in this series? I don't like this line, 4.5. I don't like that. That looks suspect to me. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
What's up, Simple Truth?
What's going on?
Not much, man. Yeah, this is Dwayne Harris call. I just wanted to make a quick discussion with you.
What's going on?
What's up? Yeah, man. So, yeah, I agree with you on the Lakers-Nets pick. And I was just trying to tell the people in the chat, like, you know what I'm saying? Because they were saying Sixers. And I understand their point, but, like, the reason why I was saying that is because, like, if you look with the Nets, like, okay, you had mentioned, like, the 2002 season, right, which was their 56th season.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a season where, the Lakers had swept them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the following year, they go to the finals again. Now they lose to the Spurs, and that was the same season that LeBron gets drafted, and that was their 57th NBA Finals. And what's crazy with the Nets is right now they're at 65 playoff wins, so they've already won 2 playoff games. So in order to get to the finals, they got to win 10 more playoff games. That'd be 75 total wins, and this is the 75th NBA season.
Yeah, okay, so say that one more time. So you're saying that they need to win. The Nets need to win 10 more games.
Yep.
To get to 75.
Yes, sir. Yep. So if you look at their record, y'all can look it up too. They came into the playoffs. They had 63 playoff wins, and so they beat the Celtics already. Like they had 2 games on them. So now they're at 65.
So wait. Where are you getting these numbers from? Because they only played 2 games, 3 games.
No. We talk about the overall playoff record, like as a franchise.
Okay. Let me see. Let me look that. How you look that up?
Okay, you can go on StatMuse, or you can go on Basketball Reference.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. Nets reference, Basketball Reference.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm looking at it right now. 54 seasons. Their playoff appearances 29, 2 championships in the ABA. I don't see their playoff record though.
Don't see it. All right, let me see. Because it's on StatMuse right here. I'll show you. Let me see if it's possible. That's okay. Yeah. So right here, I guess because on Basketball Reference it puts puts in the ABA season, so I guess it doesn't give you the full, because on StatMuse, it shows you the playoff record as a franchise just for the NBA, because they had 9 seasons when they're in the ABA. So let me see if I can bring that up for you. Let's see. That's playoff record. Oh, yeah. So, okay, there's a website called StatMuse. So it's StatMuse.com. And if you go on there, you can type in Brooklyn Nets playoff record, and it'll show you like a big photo. It'll say they're 65 and 89 as of right now.
Yeah, I never knew about this site. This site is dope.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it's a good site. Yeah.
So Brooklyn Nets.
Yes, sir. Yep. Type in Brooklyn Nets playoff record. Yep. It's a good stat you guys can use too. All you guys are watching that, you guys decode. It's a good stat. It's a good website for us.
Okay. Yeah, they got 69 and 89.
Yep, see it?
Okay, so this is updated?
Yes, sir, yep.
Not today's loss, though, right?
It actually might be on there. You can check, Arthur. Yeah, it might be on there. It's pretty fast detail.
Okay, I gotta save this for the site. Bookmark it.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir, yep.
Okay, so 65. So it should. I think that it's either 90 losses or 89 losses. So let's say they got 65, and they won 2. They need, like you said, they need 10 more. So that's 75 in the 75th. Yeah. So in the 75th NBA season, they'll have 75 playoff wins.
Yep.
And then if they get to 4, that's 79. And LeBron James' full name is 79. And that was a big number with LeBron last year.
Yeah.
Because the final started on the day with 79 numerology, and that's why Miami Heat was there, because Miami Heat is 79.
Boom. Right there. Yep.
So they get to 79. They could win 79 playoff victories versus LeBron, Ramon James.
Yeah, that's why I agree with you, man. Just about the matchup, guys. Like, because they can go either way with this spot. Like, there is a narrative for LeBron, but there is, because if you think about it, like you were just saying, for the sheeple, it would be kind of hard to see one man and him in it.
Yes, that's not even realistic. A one man. If you're talking about in Hollywood, yeah, we'll see that, like right. Jordan and Space Jam. But in real life, how is that possible for him to be 4 stars like that?
Right.
He would have to be hitting threes like Curry.
Yeah, or it's like 2016 where. Even in regular people know that series was an inside job, because it was like the way LeBron and Draymond had to do a little acting job where he hit him in the nuts and all that stuff, and Draymond gets suspended. It would have to go to that level for the Lakers to win it, in my opinion, against the Nets. So I agree with you, man. Just stick to the matchup, because both these teams got a lot of numbers to get there. Yeah. But
it could go either way. It could really go either way, because there is a narrative for them. For the Lakers to win 58 games, because Los Angeles Lakers is 58, Nets is 58. But I like the stat that you brought up. The Nets getting there with 75 and then winning 4 more to 79 against LeBron, Ramon James, and that is a huge number with LeBron, 79.
Yeah, that's crazy. So and then the 58 too could happen, because like you were saying, last year they had won 68 games in total. Because they had 52 regular season wins, and then they won the 16 for the championship, 68. If the Lakers happen to win this year, let's say you add 68 and 58, that's 126, and we all know Kobe died on 126. So, but it's still hard it's just hard to see which one they're gonna go with. That's why I was sticking to the matchup.
Yeah, I think the matchup, and you make more money that way.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you look at the line right now, I think the matchup went down, but it's going to go up because Brooklyn lost today. So you can probably get the matchup at like 400.
Yeah. That's still not bad. Yep, not bad.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, I definitely agree with you. And then another little tidbit, if you want to look this one up, is like the last game of the Nets season, they played Cleveland. And in the first half, Cleveland had 56 points. And we all know that was, LeBron's last team that he went to the, finals with.
You see, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. And I read somewhere that LeBron and Anthony Davis missed 56 games.
Yep. They mentioned that actually on Game 3. They mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's so suspicious when they do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes I think that they're doing that for us to throw us off. Because they like to do that a lot
Honestly,
too.
honestly, yeah. I think they watch our community. I think they kind of monitor like, hey, these guys are starting
Yeah,
to,
they're
you
talking
know,
about 56 a lot, so let's bring that up in the during the game.
yeah, like a mocking.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
they're like mocking us.
Hmm.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, man, crazy. Let me see if I had anything else for you. Let's see.
But how you feel about because the Nets finished with 48? I mean, isn't that suspicious? They finished the season with 48 wins.
And see, that's why I was like, okay, let me watch on who's gonna win because I thought they would lose to Cleveland the last game, with the 47. But then when they won, I was like, damn, because they really could get that 6-4. But at the same time, people are like, well, the 6-4 could just mean LeBron's playoff record, but it's too lined up.
His playoff record, is 46. Well, against the reflection.
Yeah.
His finals record, you mean? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So it's just, I'm not sure. I do see the narrative though, where people are saying, the Space Jam, and okay, well, you can probably look this up too, Arthur. It's on StatMuse. LeBron's playoff record right now, he has 174 wins. Now, if he does win the finals, he'll get 188, and greatest of all time equals 188.
Yeah, but I seen that, but that doesn't mean him winning 5 championships doesn't make him the greatest of all time.
True. That's true.
The reason that connected with Tom Brady is because he won his 7th.
Yeah.
So that made him the greatest of all time by winning 7.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really connect to LeBron because winning 5 rings, you're just matching up with Kobe. That doesn't make you the greatest of all time. Now, if he was to get 7, and then that 188 was there, then that would be something.
Yeah. No, I agree. It's a good point because I guess the only way that connection would make sense is, okay, if he plays Brooklyn and, let's say LeBron dominates, which probably won't happen, but let's say the Lakers win in 5 or something. They allow the script for them to win in 5. Once someone on the Nets gets injured or something like that, who knows? But they give it to him in 5. Then maybe they could have that argument because, I think you've seen the whole, he could three-peat thing. So if that's possible, this could help his narrative. But I don't know. I would just stick to the matchup. That's where the money's at, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, I would just stick with that.
And it's like you said, I mean, look, have you seen, these games? They are barely beating these teams.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Lakers, they're this is Hollywood with the Lakers because especially game 1. They didn't try game 1. Anyone who's watched that, I played basketball. I mean, I wasn't NBA talent, none of that stuff, but I played in high school. And anyone who's played basketball seriously can watch an NBA game and tell it's blatantly fixed. It's nothing is legitimate. It's all magnet shots. The trajectory of how they're shooting the ball. I mean, that looks hell. The shot LeBron hit, you made a video, Arthur. That was incredibly blatantly. The trajectory of his shot, that was gonna clank off the side of the rim if they didn't mess with it.
Yeah, the reason I don't talk about the technology is because at the end of the day, people are always gonna be like, oh, that's just the rotation of the ball, blah blah blah. But it's so obvious that they're using technology. I mean, look what these players are taking shots from. If you look at Trae Young, he's shooting from half court, it's just so fake. But it's so hard to convince people that this is what's going on. That's why I just stick to the numbers. And even with the numbers, people are like, oh, that's just a coincidence. I'm all right.
Hey, you know what it is, Arthur? You know what it is? It's because they see the NBA player. That's how I know it's fixed. They see the NBA player, let's say in the gym or something like that by themselves. They're making every shot. So they assume, well, they must be that good because, I see them making every shot. And then when they get to the floor, it's like, okay, you got two. When they the court, everything is magnet controlled. So therefore,
and in the gym too. They can have the technology.
Facts, because they're in NBA gyms. They're not in regular YMCA gyms. Everything is controlled, but it's so easy to lie to us, and because people have this fantasy with these athletes that they put them on pedestals, and they grow up. You hear, Arthur, some of these guys, they'll, I even see them on your Patreon. They're not really here to discover if it's rigged. And I think they just want to make some money and discover, is my favorite team rigged to win it all this year? They're not really interested to find out this is rigged to change lives.
You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that.
People still got fandom in their heads, man. And it's like, all of us. I mean, hell, I had that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I get so upset when people ask me who's going to win the championship. Like, who cares? There's other ways that you can benefit off this information.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Like we just pointed out how there's really these two teams are the strongest teams to reach the finals. They have the best narratives.
The best narratives, the numbers, and they got the star power for it.
And you don't even need, to be honest, you don't even need the numerology. I mean, just look at the two teams. They're the most dominant teams in the leagues.
And honestly, that's how the NBA is able to kind of get away. Because to me, NBA is kind of the most looking sport that's fixed. But because they allow the top-heavy teams to win, people don't think it's fixed.
Well, that's why they do that too. They stack up all these players to make it look like, the reason these teams keep winning is because they have the star power. And the reason these teams is not winning is because of the injuries and so on.
Yep. Yeah, it's lots of deception, man. Yeah, I feel like they're going to do a lot of deception this playoff too. So they'll probably write off Brooklyn. Oh, well, Brooklyn was supposed to be dominant. They lost. It's like, dude, it's fixed. Like, of course they'll give the Celtics a game at least. Gotta make it look real.
Yeah, and then they also steal a lot of money from the gamblers because a lot of people are probably money lining that 7-point spread on Brooklyn.
Yep.
Thinking that it's safe, but then it's not.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, you're doing good work, man. Just keep it up. That's just how our society is, man. People are still kind of money obsessed. So, even though they're trying to discover this information, they're still thinking about bankrolls, or they still have, idolization of players. So, but you're doing the good work, man. I agree with you. Like I said, people should listen. That really is going to be a match. It's just too much information, and don't worry about the winner. As long as you get the matchup, you're good. You got money. Who gives a damn? Watch the script. See who's going to win.
Exactly.
That's how I would take it, folks. This season, it's all about what's going to get you money. Don't worry about ego and pride. Just get you money,
Exactly.
I'll cut it off soon. I'm kind of going, but even when we had the whole Celtics team, I wasn't even mad at you there because that shit happens, man. You're gonna figure we have to discover. We're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to gain knowledge because this is all bullshit any damn way. We can make a bunch of money if we work together.
And I was trying to get the matchup because I told everybody the Lakers are gonna win the championship. I got the matchup wrong.
And bro, I don't give a damn because you know what? You still gave someone something to profit off of because you said the Lakers are going to win it.
Mm-hmm.
So if people were smart bettors, you bet the matchup and the winner. Damn, matchup didn't win.
Yeah, that's why I was saying. I was saying that because the Celtics won like 2 series, so I know people made money during those series because you could just pick the team to win the series. They beat the Raptors in a Game 7. I know people made money there. It just, what it is? People want to make money the entire playoffs. They want to make money every single day. They don't really care about the rituals. They just want to win, and cash out. Money. That's all they care about. They don't care about the connections that we are making.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, that's the problem. But that's the problem, though, man, because the connection, because, with money, I mean, yeah, we're going to use it for, our lifetimes. But, hell, we don't know. They can switch the damn currency. The way they going, we don't know. But this knowledge, whatever new currency you got, this is going to stay. You're going to make money. This is lifetime knowledge. People should focus on the knowledge firsthand. Money will come with it. Just focus on the knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think they have any plans of changing the system around that they have.
This stuff I'm just talking hypothetically,
Yeah, but no, I don't mean the money. I mean like these rituals. They're not changing this.
Yeah, they're not.
This is their life.
Yeah, man. Why would you too? Like you said, it's the life, and there's very few people like us who even see it. So why would you change?
Yep.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, keep up the good work out there. I won't be rented on the phone.
Thanks a lot for calling, and I appreciate you notifying me about that site. That's dope.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, use that and all your followers. Yeah, use that site, guys. It's a good site. Yeah, definitely help you on the codes.
All right, brother. Take care.
All right, bro. Yep, you too, man. Peace.
So what the caller was saying was that the Nets need 10 playoff victories to reach the finals. They still need 14 to win the championship. But what he was saying is if they get to 10, they will reach the NBA finals with 75 playoff victories. And of course, this is the 75th NBA season. Hello?
Hey, Arthur, can you hear me?
Yes. What's going on?
Hey, man, I just had some interesting notes about the game today in Boston.
On the Brooklyn game?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on?
I saw a lot of 216. I saw it was 216 days before LeBron's birthday. It was the 216th game between the Nets and Celtics. And how I found that stat was on statmuse.com. If you do Nets versus Celtics record, including playoffs, that's how you get all these great stats. But, yeah, the Celtics got their 2,160th home game in their 216th matchup, 216 days before LeBron's birthday.
Okay.
And for the Nets, it was their 154th playoff game, and they got their 89th loss. Like, King James equals 89, 154. So, yeah, that's why I really like Boston today.
Can I make a recommendation?
Sure.
When you're decoding like a Celtics game, you don't want to just look at LeBron because LeBron doesn't play for either team. Because usually what they do is the rituals will be with the players that are active in that game. I get why you're picking LeBron because LeBron is a star player. You think, but not every ritual is surrounding LeBron. A lot of times these rituals are, connected to the players that are actually on the court. Like it was one game where, what's this guy's name for the Celtics? Brown. I forgot his first name. Jaylen Brown. He came back over an injury. I think it was 213 days before his birthday, and then his team fell to 21-3 away. So if you see like a 214 with LeBron, that might throw you off because the ritual is with Jaylen Brown.
But I saw the 154. The King James number with Brooklyn.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's just that Celtics and Brooklyn, it's hard for you. I don't know. It's just my experience. It's just me personally, I don't decode that way. Like if I'm looking at a Nets and Celtics game, I'm not gonna be paying attention to what LeBron is. But the other things that you notice, I think those are really significant. The 2000. Say it again. Say it one more time.
Yeah, in their 216th game against the Nets, they got their 2,160th all-time home win, 216 days before LeBron's birthday. And the game before, they were doing a bunch of Number of the Beast rituals with LeBron.
You see, I think you should have just left out the LeBron part. I think the other part is significant. The Celtics got the 2,160th home win in their 216th game versus the Nets. That's what the ritual is.
How about the 154 and 89?
Well, yeah, those are LeBron James numbers, but he doesn't play for those teams.
But they're syncing up the Nets.
So that's like saying, every time you see a 33, you're gonna match it up with Scottie Pippen, or every time you see a 126, you're gonna match it up with.
They only have a 154th game one time. So.
But that doesn't always. All right, I'm trying to help you, but if you don't want my help, then I won't give it to you. I'm just telling you this is how I've been decoding. If you don't want to, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying that LeBron doesn't play for the Celtics or the Nets. You could do whatever you like at the end of the day. I'm just giving you my point of view.
I get that. I'm just trying to make the point that I don't always do that. I just saw the 154, 89, and all the 216s, and then I remembered, the NBA has like a theme in the playoffs where it's, like they're going to do Lakers versus Nets, so they have to have these like riddles. I feel, I'm not saying they do it every game. It was just something I caught. And also the Brad Stevens falling to 38 and 38 on the 38-day numerology. So I just, wanted to share that thing that I caught,
I appreciate that. I mean, I'm just saying that there's just something that I don't do that. I don't. If I'm looking at the Nets and Celtics, I'm paying attention to those two teams. I'm not looking. Even if I see a 41 and 126, and this is the thing, right? When I was last year, when I was decoding the basketball game, and I went on that crazy run, Kobe Bryant just died, right? So that's why every game was connected to Kobe, because Kobe was a big news story in the NBA with Kobe Bryant. It's not the same with LeBron James. LeBron James is still. I don't know how to explain it.
I just remember
If LeBron James was to die right now, then all those things will matter, because all these teams will be paying tribute to the death of LeBron James. Because every time that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to look at every 154 that comes up and think LeBron James just because King James is 154. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Simple truth. I'm just thinking because of his Boston connection with the Red Sox, and because that he will play the Nets, probably is the only reason why I included that in my decode today. But I do agree that the 216 is a lot stronger.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
for sure. And can I just share one other decode I had?
Go ahead.
Okay. The Hawks fell to 191 and 187 all time in the playoffs, like Society of Jesus. The Hawks got their 43rd win of the season. Again, the Knicks got their 191st all-time playoff loss. 199 is the 43rd prime. What's it called? And the Knicks 192nd road playoff game. They stayed on 192 all-time wins versus the Hawks. So, everything was good today except the Clippers Mavs game. But
you said, what was that 199 that you said?
So this was the Knicks 192nd road playoff game.
I thought you said 199 to 46 prime. I think that was before, right?
No, it's both 192. So they have 192 all-time wins versus the Hawks, and in their 192nd road playoff game, they stayed on 192 head-to-head wins.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's way better than what you did before with 192 connects to LeBron James, because this LeBron James doesn't play for the Hawks and Knicks. I'm just saying, but I like what you did there. I like what you did there.
Yeah, and another thing with the Nets, they fell to 2017 away with 217 days left in the year. But yeah, man, thank you for taking my call. I hope you have a great night.
All right, thanks, son. Keep up the good work, man. Appreciate that.
Of course.
All right. We was doing the trip. Mr. Trust Jesus did the 126 video with Kobe Bryant, and this is one of the 126s that we left out. Trae Young. He had a big game right after Kobe Bryant died. I think he scored, 41 points or something like that. He had a big tribute right after Kobe Bryant died. His name, Trae Young, is 126. Supposedly, he's Gianna Bryant's favorite basketball player. And if you notice his date of birth, he was born September 19th, 1998. He was even born on the day with 126 in numerology. So this is why Mr. Trae Young was in the news the days after Kobe Bryant's death. Notice 9 plus 19 plus 98. 126. So this is another 126 that we missed in that video. So his name is 126. He was born on the day with 126 in numerology. And actually just look it up. Kobe tribute. I think it was a day after Kobe's death. He had 45 points. And then he changed his number to number 8 the day after Kobe dies. And then he dropped, I think this was the 38-point game. And he had 26 points in the second half. Brian is 26. Dead on the 26. Actually, is Brian 26? I don't know. Yeah, Brian is 26. So he had 26 points in the second half. He had 38 points. Like how Death, Murder, Killing, RIP is 38. Like how Kobe died 38 weeks after his wife's birthday. And then he changed his number to number 8. And then he says, pointed to the court and held up 24 with his hands. What a joke. Gianna Bryant's favorite basketball player. So Mr. Trey Young, let me just see. September 19th. Yeah, it looks like the Hawks are gonna eliminate the Knicks. So this was on his 36th week of his age. You see, this is the thing, right? If I'm decoding something like this, and I'm like, oh look, it's 114 days before his birthday, and LeBron James is 114. Just because I see 114, that doesn't always mean that it's connected to LeBron James. Just gotta look at the two teams that are playing each other. Sometimes it'll be, sometimes the team could pick up the 114th win against the in the playoffs, and that's way more significant than thinking about LeBron James. LeBron James is over there. You look at LeBron James when the Lakers play. So the Knicks have 42 wins for the season. They might keep the Knicks at 42. Yeah, I don't think the Knicks will win another game, to be honest. Yeah, you guys asking me for sports information. I only put that stuff out on Patreon. So if you want to know if the Clippers are going to beat the Mavericks, just send me a message on Patreon. I'll tell you. But I think we can end it there. You guys have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys next time. So you guys says, they clearly sync up other players in games. This guy, he doesn't want to take my advice. He learns to work for me, but now he feels like he knows more than I do. Hey, listen, you called. I try to give you my advice. You don't have to listen to me. If you want to keep looking at 154 and LeBron James, good luck.